Welcome to Jurassic World.
Guests, welcome to Jurassic World Minute, where we visit Jurassic World 1 minute at a time. Law bloodlines will be favoured. I'm Brad.
I'm Dave.
And on this episode we'll be discussing minute 22 of Jurassic World. But coming back, or staying on for another minute, we have Jaye Jurassick back. Hello, Jay.
What's up, guys? Glad to be back.
Glad to be back. Last minute you hinted at a new purchase. What new T-Rex have you got?
Well, at the time I was hinting towards I just saw today David Silva, and if you guys follow, yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Beasts of Mesozoic. He posted the T-Rex. Oh man, I can't wait for that figure. It's awesome.
Did you see the color scheme for it? It looks like looks like a novel accurate Red Rex.
Yes, it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous T-Rex. I can't wait. And it's, and it's up to the date scientific data, so we're going to be seeing a T-Rex that's like, museum quality Rex. Nothing against the Jurassic one. I love that one always. But, I love the real animal as well. But in the Jurassic sense, I did purchase as well. I got the epic roaring T-Rex.
Ooh.
And she's right here. I'll let her say hello on the podcast. I don't know if you guys heard that.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that Rex is awesome. I think Mattel did a fantastic job on that one. I think, honestly, I think it's the best sculpt in my opinion of our good old girl Rexy.
Mm-hmm.
Like body type, the jawline. I like that they made her eye a little bit bigger, because on the other Rexes the eye's kind of slant. It kind of has a little bit of a slant, and the T-Rex that we all know from like the original Jurassic Park, her eye's more circular. So in this one it's got the circular type of shape to the eye. She's way more detailed. Like the details are crazy on this Rex, and I'm not the biggest fan of the shaking that it does when it roars, but it's just I'll take it. I don't care. It's just I think it's a fantastic Rex.
I was kind of on the fence about it when I first saw it. I went from I wanted it to on the fence about it, and now every time I hear somebody post a picture, or I see somebody post a picture of it, or hear somebody talk about it, I gotta get this. And I've not gotten anything new in my local Targets, and I've completely given up on my Walmart. So I've been trying to track one down without doing online,
That's how I got her, by ordering her on Target.com, and then it went to the store. But now it's right now they're starting to fill up. Like a week ago you wouldn't find anything basically, but right now the stores are filling up. So just give it maybe around this week or next week, and I'm telling you, you're gonna see the toy section of Jurassic and Target just full. They got all the stuff, man. I also got the
Camp Cretaceous resets and the big displays they've had for it.
Yeah, were you able to snag the John Hammond new blur set?
No, like I said, I've not seen anything yet.
Oh well, yeah, I was able to get that one as well, and it's great.
Nice. Yeah, I was surprised to see some of the Camp Cretaceous stuff on shelves here yesterday as well. Mostly just a repaint of the animals, but yeah, normally we're a bit delayed getting stuff over here, but
Yeah, I've been kind of keeping an eye out on props as you've seen on Instagram and such. I've actually got another thing that I've got coming in the mail that I'm going to be kind of reproducing myself. It's if you remember watching The Lost World, Hammond has behind his window, or I'm not behind his window, behind his office his desk in his office bedroom thing. He's got a Douglas Henderson pencil drawing of the Stegosaurus on a redwood creek bed, and so I ordered a print from Douglas Henderson of it, and then I'm going to get the custom frame job from Michaels.
nice.
Nice. Yeah. I also was able to get the Amber Collection Dilophosaurus,
Oh,
Great stuff.
and it's so good, and the Nedry too, the Amber Collection Nedry, and I was able to get the other Nedry, the exclusive, but I don't have it yet. But I was able to order it.
I figured they'll have more Nedry down the line. I don't have to rush to get this one. Mm-hmm. And besides the fact that I already got a cryo can coming from Chronicle Collectibles, so I wasn't really disappointed about missing out on that. But Amber Collection, as we've seen on some of our friends who have posted images on the JP Toys forum, Amber Collection has some stuff in store for us. Big stuff.
Yes, I saw that today. That's a lot of cool stuff. I'm actually pretty excited about some of the items that they have on there, because after seeing that Dilophosaurus, like, I have it on my desk, it is fantastic. Like, big Dilophosaurus fan, and having that Dilophosaurus is just wow.
I find it interesting too, and it's been going around the fan communities, and that just how much Dilophosaur, Barbasol, and Nedry we've been getting before the announcement of Bison and Dodson coming back in Dominion. Whether the two are tied or whether it's just a time to get some Barbasol love.
Yeah, there's been like a resurgence of just like Nedry and like you see stuff about Nedry everywhere. And I also have a Cairo can as well on order from Chronicle, just like you, David. Yeah. I saw that they had like that payment plan, and it was like really good, and I was like, might as well, because I want a Cairo can.
Yeah, I had a credit with them from some of my past purchases that I canceled.
Nice.
So I went ahead and bought it on credit.
Yeah, nice. When is it supposed to be start shipping?
I don't know. They supposedly had did one of those kind of update videos, but I didn't watch it.
Oh, I never. Honestly, I never watched them either.
I think it'll come when it comes.
Yeah.
I think the only one I ever saw was like when they were talking about the Breakout Rex back in the day, and that was it. And then I got my Breakout Rex, and I wasn't too happy with the paint apps, so then I kind of fell off from Chronicle. And then I saw that they were doing the Cairo can, and I'm like, okay, you don't really need like crazy paint apps for a Cairo can, so I think it can do all right on this one. So this is the one I want. Like, I feel like the dinosaurs, great sculpts and all, but like the paint apps are not great. But like items themselves, like I guess the can. Brad, did you ever get the goggles? Or no?
I'm still waiting for him to release it.
Thing too.
Yeah, Yeah, that was
Yeah,
in
well,
October last year. They were due out, and here we are. They still haven't shipped them yet. So
well, yeah. So like the goggles, I think it would be fine as well. Because there's not they can't mess up like a green and yellow paint on there. Like, come on, you
I
know.
wouldn't think so.
Yeah, I'm hoping that. Yeah, I'm hoping for your sake.
I was gonna say, well, plus with the cryo can, they're working with the original prop. Universal sent them the original cryo can prop they found in their archives and sent it to Chronicle for study. So, I mean, I'm really hoping they don't screw this up, having the actual on hand while making it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what I'm hoping for too, and I think it's gonna have the pop mechanism too, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Good. That's what
It
I
does
want.
not come with squealing laughs, though.
That I'm a little disappointed with, but that's fine. Anytime I present that can to somebody, I will be like, wait, don't touch the can just yet. Just give it a second. What am I waiting for? Just wait. Just go on my phone and find Nedry laughing. Like, okay, now you can touch the can, and then I press the laughing. Whatever. Scream that he does. That thing is so weird. For years when I was a little kid, I thought that was the can.
I did too. I always thought it was the can until somebody was like, "No, that's Wayne Knight laughing." Like,
your asshole's great.
What? Like what?
All right.
But yeah.
All right.
You come here and you don't learn anything about these animals except what you want to know. You made them and now you think you own them.
We do own them. Extinct animals have no rights.
They're not extinct anymore, Hoskins.
Exactly.
Heading over to Jurassic-Pedia.com for a brief second. We have an entry here for Barry Sembène, I'm going to say. Barry in the film, one of the Velociraptor handlers, as I said last minute in the novel, he was credited as the lead handler. It's a shame with what we get coming up with this character, just his involvement in the film. Sort of disappears and goes and spies on Injured for a little bit, then gets left behind in a log, and we don't see him again until the end of the film in the big hangar or the warehouse. So it's a shame, but I do like what little bits we do get of Barry.
I do too, and
yeah.
I was disappointed that he didn't come back for Fallen Kingdom, but I do think he's might be coming back for Dominion. I heard. I don't know.
Yeah, because I felt like for Fallen Kingdom he would have been great, just being there with Owen to try to find Blue, because Barry has a relationship as well as does Owen with Blue.
Exactly.
Even though Blue listens, looks up to Owen, Barry, like that scene in the log, he's like Blue, like I know you, And I thought Omar Sy was just a great actor for that part, even though it was not that big of a role. I thought he did an excellent job. I actually liked Barry, and I was and the same. I was disappointed that he wasn't more in the film, and then we didn't see him in Fallen Kingdom. But I'm glad that if the rumors are true that he's coming back, I'm glad he is.
Yeah. Could you just imagine the comedic beat there in Fallen Kingdom where Owen finds Blue for the first time and throws that treat, and she ignores it? You just imagine him. That's not good.
Yeah, exactly.
Being there with him there, but it would have made a lot of sense. But
you
did mention Omar Sy, the character playing Barry, heading over to IMDb.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately for me, it's a lot the same as Masrani and some of the other actors that are in this film that I haven't really known much of beforehand. Looking at his sort of IMDb list here, I don't think... I was actually surprised to see him. He was in the last Transformers film as a voice of Hot Rod, which he's doing a French accent there. I think he is. He's French-Canadian or something, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's French, yeah. Or his parents were French anyway, so...
Well, you grow up around an accent, you pick it up, right? And it's one of those things that, I know people who There was this one woman I knew in college. She was from Boston, and she did a really good job hiding her Boston accent until you got her drunk. and then she started talking with a Boston accent. I don't do Boston accents, but anyway, she started talking with a Boston accent. And it is something that people do when, like, they can live their whole lives away from their family, but the second they return home, suddenly they're talking just like their family.
Yeah. That happens sometimes with when I speak in Spanish. My accent for like from where I'm from in Uruguay, we have a certain distinct dialect and accent when we speak Spanish, very different from every other country except for Argentina. Uruguayans, Argentinians, we speak kind of like the same dialect. But from everywhere else in Latin America, it's very different. So, but when I'm around other Uruguayans, other Argentinians, I like my accent comes back like full blast, you know. And like when I speak to other Hispanics, like I kind of mix in their dialects and whatnot. So it's like when I come back to the same people, I start speaking the same.
It is good too to see that Barry returned for the Lego stuff as well, voicing his own character there. But that's Omar Sy and Barry. Check out Jurassic-Pedia.com for that and a lot more articles. Gents, ready to get into minute 22 of the villainous Hoskins?
Sure.
Let's do it.
As we enter minute 21 of Jurassic World, Hoskin thinks the raptors can take orders, but is sorely mistaken. And just like last minute, because of the long run time, I'll be brief and say the minute ends with Hoskins repeating that familiar line from a previous movie: with great power comes some responsibility. No, not that one. Just because you made them, you think you own them. As we continue in minute 22, Barry rejoins the group because Owen and Hoskins had gone off around the catwalks arguing with each other, and finally sort of catches back up through a side access gate, which seems to be a bit weird that this gate's up on the catwalk when you can walk around it, but he has the comment here: we finally have success, and this is the first thing he says, make weapons, which is true. We mentioned it sort of briefly last minute. There's some sign of success here, and let's make him into a weapon.
Of course.
Yeah, but that's where sort of Hoskins chucks a little bit of a hissy fit here and says, come on, gents, it's grown-up time. Drones can't search tunnels and caves, and they're hackable. The minute the real war breaks out, all that tech is going to go dark, which I don't think you'd be taking drones down tunnels anyway, unless you have the little track type ones, but we do get a good zinger here from Owen saying that tech isn't going to eat you if you don't feed it.
Yeah.
Which again, it's
Very
more
true.
about Hoskins trying to put across the point that all this is for the good of the soldier, the good of Uncle Sam winning the war here. When I don't think InGen would be exclusive US military. I'm sure they'd sell it to the highest bidder.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Hoskins looks down at the raptors here, and you sort of see him playing around the pen. Look at these creatures; they have millions of years of instinct in their cells, instinct that we can program. Which we sort of mentioned last week, David, the whole Ibris program, and all the Ibris, they're trying to make the animals more tame and trying to get them to take orders, be more resilient. Jay, did you sort of read up on the Ibris project and what they were trying to do there?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I actually I listened to the last episode, so I heard you guys talking about it.
Yep.
I remember when it popped up, and I thought it was really cool that the image, it was like the original raptor, but had kind of like a stripe, almost like blue. But yeah, it's what I wonder is did Owen have a lot to do with that project too? Like even with the ones that got exterminated, or was he brought on with this raptor group?
I can't remember. I know that in the footage we watched with Owen in Fallen Kingdom, we see that Owen seemed to be around for the birth of this group of raptors that he has. So I would think that he would have been around for other births that were not successfully able to be connected with, and that this just happens to be the group that he did connect with.
We sort of don't get we don't really get an idea too if Owen if Owen knows what the end game is. It's all good for scientists to sit down in a room working on a nuclear bomb, but you know surely that that bomb's going to get dropped on someone when it's all put together. And here, yes, you're working with the raptors, trying to trying to train them, teach them, get them to take orders. I wonder if he sort of knows what, or if there is an end game, or if Hoskins just sort of making his own thing up here now that he can see they can take orders.
I don't think he did, because both Hoskins here seems to imply that the end game is the project started out one way and he's planning on pushing it another, and then even Masrani later in the movie says, wasn't this whole program just to test their intelligence? And then Hoskins is like, "Oh yeah, but now we know what they can do. So let's start selling them." You know.
Mm. Well, at this point too, we know that creating animals isn't cheap, and paying for this infrastructure to be here and all that just for Owen to sort of have his own curiosity with the animals and trying to teach them or train them and that. Of course, someone higher up's going to try and want to exploit all the good work he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. But we get a good shot here too, David, of that enclosure. Jay, you said you've been catching up on past episodes. How it appears this enclosure has a missing rear wall. It's not a complete enclosed with the containers all around it. This back wall with the foliage and what may be beyond.
Was it, I think it might have been, yes, it was the Lego game. I know Lego is not really canon, but, there is, I was actually listening to that episode where you guys were talking about that, and then I was wondering if what they had in the Lego game, if it was mentioned maybe in the script or mentioned in, like, the novel or something, where it's almost like they have like an area for the raptors to run or like explore a little bit. So maybe that's like why they have that that like open entry back there. Because in the Lego game you see them, they like run and then they run into the pen. Like you have them run into the pen chasing the pig.
Yeah.
And the pen itself, like where they have them enclosed, but it almost like they have an area where they can just like hang out or just do more running, I guess, because like the pen itself, it's big, but it's not enough for them to like constantly really hit the miles, you know?
No. And that's we say that it's an open section of the pen. It's not really like it's that densely populated with trees and forest. You can't see anything through it anyway. But
I was talking with the guys who run Behind the Gates Facebook page about this subject, and the one noticed something really interesting about one of the satellite images that was taken, or not satellite, the aerial images that were taken of the set when they were filming on it, and how the back section that I noticed doesn't have a finished wall has these two jutted Conex boxes that looks like how it would have looked in the concept art that we have of the whole thing, where it's kind of like this private area that's shaded and kind of full of trees for the raptors, which makes me think that at some point there was a plan to have this extended area in the CGI wide shot, but they never finished it for some reason. You know, they just decided not to. to in the end not have it, you know.
Yeah. But this is where Hoskins goes into full villain mode here. Loyalty cannot be bought. These guys are going to run straight down the enemy's teeth and eat them belt buckle and all. And that's when Barry sort of counters what if they decide they don't want to be in control, which is a little bit of foreshadowing to what we see later on in the film. But in the end, there's still animals, and I suppose it doesn't help where we don't really have much... Well, we have a lot of human on dinosaur action in the films, but never the human being able to shoot the animal. A couple of well-trained... Well, we'll see what happens to Blue with a pistol shot from Ted Levine in Fallen Kingdom, so we know the animals aren't bulletproof.
Yeah.
You have the Taliban down a tunnel with AK-47s. Yeah, the Raptor might get one or two of them, but it's not going to last a hell of a lot unless we start having Dino Rider with metal plates and armor on them as well.
Oh, there's a sight.
Yeah. Yep.
They had like a fan did a rendition of Blue with like a military pack, like coming. I don't know if you ever seen that art piece. It was like Blue. They were like arriving on those like amphibious vehicles onto a shore, and you see Blue like leading the pack with a military pack on.
It almost reminds me of those Raptor sled concept art that came out.
It actually looks pretty cool, but no, not for me. Which one?
The Raptor sled concept art that they had. It was basically the 4 Raptors pulling.
Yeah, I saw that. That was weird.
TV.
Yeah, I don't. Nah. It's like a Jurassic Santa Claus, like literally claws. Like you could actually make that into a claws. No.
I'm Echo. I'm Blue.
I know it's. I don't know. Some of those ideas are just wild, man. They're just crazy.
I think that with the 4th movie in those early concept stages, they were kind of just wondering, okay, what can we do with this, you know?
Yeah. Let's throw a heap of stuff on the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Let's. I think they probably were like, okay, first board meeting. Let's just get it out of our system. Throw me your wildest ideas first, and then we'll actually get started on the project.
Raptor tightrope, which was also concept art. So don't say that I made that.
Oh wow, really? Oh
yes.
No.
Luckily, we didn't get that.
I don't think anything beats the like that concept art of like the human spliced dinosaurs. That was just that Triceratops gives me nightmares, man.
I don't know if the smoking one they were doing that one.
Well, we've talked about this before. The concept is horrific, and I'd love to see it on film, but just not a Jurassic film.
Yeah.
No, not at all. Like it should be like a Resident Evil movie, like a Dino Crisis.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it wouldn't be Dino Crisis. Dino Crisis wasn't really. Resident Evil was like experimenting on like humans with that T-virus. Dino Crisis was just they opened a portal basically. You know what I mean? And those dinosaurs were like real dinosaurs coming through. Dino Crisis 3, on the other hand, I don't know if you guys ever played that game.
No.
What the hell happened there? I know this is a tangent, and I'm sorry for it, but Dino Crisis 3, they had these things that they said were dinosaurs, and okay, first of all, it was in space. Okay, they went from facilities on an island to, I think it was like 50 years in the future in space, and then the dinosaurs that were on this ship that just happened to come out of nowhere. I don't know how these dinosaurs appeared in space, but they did. They didn't have any skin. They were like they were like muscle with like no skin. They were like zombie dinosaurs.
Ugh.
And then some of them were just like completely made up. They just like were like, oh, you know what? We'll just mix this with this. It was an awful idea. That's why I never played the game. I've seen it on like YouTube, and I was just like, what were they thinking? And then that actually made me think, wow, that's where Jason X came from. Like, it was Jason in space. I'm like, wow, some guy played Dino Crisis 3 and was like, we should do that for Jason. And
I would still not be surprised if we get a Jurassic Park on the moon at some stage if these films keep on getting made.
I hope by that point, like, I'm just one of those like curmudgeon Jurassic Park fans where I'm like, the first 3 are the best. That's it. Or, no, first 2.
The part where I already am.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw somebody call Raptors cute the other day. I'm like, okay, good for you, but I think I'm gonna pass on that. Baby, don't get me wrong, baby Blue was adorable. I think baby raptors are cute, but after that 8 months part, something about them seems kind of lethal. In my opinion.
I feel like I was
fine
with
one of the animatronics with blood just dripping down his face. He's like, "Oh, that's so cute." I'm okay. Let's put some social distancing between you and I.
It just ate a guy.
Yeah, if it gets to like a crazy point where like this series takes like a really hard left turn, I mean, I honestly I think by that point if they have Blue like I don't know with a modulator on her head that talks or something, because you never know how far the
Like Congo.
I was gonna bring up Amy.
Oh
me,
man,
Blue,
like
good raptor, Blue, me.
I was actually thinking the dog from Up.
Oh.
Where she's just like talking to Owen. Yes, I'm happy. Yep, that pig. Pig.
I let you and I love you.
Yeah, if they go to like crazy levels or stuff like that with Jurassic, I don't know, man. I will be one of those fans that's just like I don't watch the new ones. I put in my old movies and that's it. Because it's just that would just like I know a lot of fans don't like the new trilogy, right? I'm okay with Jurassic World. Like I actually do love this film. I am indifferent with Fallen Kingdom, and I have no idea what they're gonna do for their third. You know what I mean? Battle of Big Rock got me a little excited for the film, but you never know.
Yep. Well,
we'll see.
Something else that's bonkers is Hoskins' response to Barry asking if they decide they don't want to be in control. We remind them who is. Terminate the rogues. Promote only royal bloodlines. Loyal bloodlines, sorry, not royal. He's just chewing on his own rhetoric here.
I would say that this is the part of Hoskins I did not care for, the monologuing Saturday morning villain characterization they created of him. And it was just, I mean, yeah, we had goofiness with villains before, like the whistle slide when Nedry slips down the waterfall.
Yeah, that's funny.
I mean, it just seemed to take a new level with Hoskins, to where we just get this guy monologuing his evil plan, and there's nothing you can do to stop me, Mr. Grady.
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
And then we got that again with Mills and Wheatley a bit in, but definitely a lot with Mills in Fallen Kingdom. And again, I didn't care for. I thought that Fallen Kingdom took a lot of the concepts from Jurassic World, like the crazy hybrid and the monologuing villain, and kind of did it better and more subtle. But at the same time, it's a polished turd. Polished turd, so a turd.
Yeah, there's good like dialogue in some of the things that Mills says, especially that scene which actually works with what we're talking about right now, where we were talking about Owen being kind of like not knowing where this project is going. When he has Owen and Claire caged up, and he's like, you know, and what about you? You trained raptors. Well, what do you think? You didn't think of the implications of your research?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
He throws that in his face. Like, are you serious? Are you that like oblivious and dumb? Like that you didn't get where that was going? Like, you showed us we could train him, so like, come on. And then the other one, and then he tells Claire, like, hey, you authorized, like, the most lethal dinosaur ever created, so you got nothing to say.
I mean, he does bring up a lot of great points, which is why I feel like the monologuing is better done in Fallen Kingdom, you know? I mean, like, he brings up a lot of things that are like, hey, you got him there, Mills, you know?
Yeah, it was. Now, for Fallen Kingdom, because I know for Jurassic World we had Derek Connolly. Was Derek Connolly still on with Fallen Kingdom or no?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, because it's been, I don't know how true it is, but it's been criticized that a lot of dialogue that's kind of like, has been accounted on Derek Connolly.
I've heard the same.
Because that's why I think they brought on Emily. I forget, Carmichael. Is it Carmichael? Yeah. That's why I think that's why they brought in Emily Carmichael for the third, because they've been getting that complaints of the dialogue, and hopefully she does well. I don't know much of her work, so.
What was it? I know she did this one that I was really, really hesitant about. What was it? I can't remember. It wasn't Kong Skull Island, because I remember I liked that one.
Oh, Pacific Rim.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah, the Pacific Rim sequel.
Yeah.
That was supposed to have been really not as good. So, I mean, I'm kind of hoping that her, because she was like lead writer on that, wasn't she?
I don't know.
Pacific Rim Uprising?
Yeah, but from personal experience, like, yes, it's not the best film, but I don't think the writing's not the biggest issue with that film. It's just the way what they do in it. So that's where.
Yeah, and Charlie Hunnam not coming back, and then you know they but I mean, there's other issues with that itself. Within the first one with Charlie Hunnam, and I don't think Del Toro came back, right? Not Del Toro. Yeah, is it Del Toro? No.
Yeah. No, he was doing something else.
Yeah, I think he was like a producer on it, but not really like that involved in it. But yeah, I'm just hoping that's like the big issue that we have in this trilogy, this new one, is the dialogue and the character development.
Mm-hmm.
That's like introducing the character of Lockwood. Here's this character that he says in the film, like, that him and his daughter visited Jurassic Park. They got the model there. We know that there was some issue and a falling out. We're gonna probably assume that it's because he cloned Maisie and Hammond wasn't for that. But you got this character that goes back as far as he does. It's pretty much, well, the fans want to know all this stuff, and we're just going to suffocate him with a pillow, so that way we don't have to do any backstory whatsoever.
Yeah, it's
like, you imagine if that was John Hammond in that bed, and Mills suffocated Hammond, there'd be outcry.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing. Like, I feel like it's not even so much the fault of Trevorrow, but Universal itself, where the fans are asking for certain things, and Universal's kind of like, I'll give you I'll give you whatever. Like,
well,
like,
yeah,
well, it's almost, I say, like, okay, so it's basically Universal just like throwing whatever they want at us, and us asking for certain things, and Universal's like, look, all right, calm down. I know you guys want like backstories, and I know you guys want this and that, but you know what we're gonna give you? We're gonna give you Bumpy. All right, so just take that. take Bumpy, and don't even worry about the Lockwood Hammond friendship and backstory. You don't need that. You don't need to know anything about that. Well, you guys want to know how what happened on Sorna and with the hurricane and the evacuation? Okay, you know what? We're gonna give you this. We're gonna give you Sorna mentioned in Fallen Kingdom. You guys happy with that? That's what I feel Universal does, you know? Like, they just like, here you go. Can you please? That's what we're gonna give you, and you better just take it. That's it. And it's kind of a little jab sometimes. They don't. I honestly don't know if they really know what kind of a monster they really have. Like, they have like such a crazy property and franchise here with immense potential.
Number one selling franchise. The movie is top of the box office every time that it's not up against anything else. You know.
Exactly, and it's
a couple of things, but it was top of the box office this past month.
Yeah, and they fail again and again and again with like getting this, doing the full potential. Like, finally, we're getting animated series. Finally, like, how many like times have they tried to make an animated series and they never do. They never fall through with it, and we still don't even have a trailer for it.
No,
we had that teaser.
Yeah.
That and the animation and even the characterizations are kind of looking generic. You know, I mean, it looks like that generic Saturday morning animation stuff they do now, and it just.
Yeah, like I was hoping more for I was actually listening to the Jurassic Park podcast, and they had they were talking about like the Camp Cretaceous stuff, and somebody had mentioned on there, which I thought was really cool. Somebody mentioned, I don't know if you guys remember the Godzilla TV series. Like, not the old one with Godzuki, like the
Broderick.
I loved that one. I loved it. Tuned in every Saturday morning.
The 1998 one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was fantastic. Like, I love honestly. I liked the film at the time. Like, I've seen it now. It's kind of like, it's a little campy, but like, it's still good for what it is. Like, I know it's not part of like the Godzilla universe. This was Zilla, you know, this is a different type of beast. But the cartoon is absolutely fantastic. The monsters, the animation, the cartoon style, the drawing style. It's the only other it was like one of the early animations that came out of whatever studio that came out of. I used to know it too. I used to know the animation studio, and they worked on the Extreme Ghostbusters animation as well. And you could see it, like the rendition of monsters was just like, whoever was drawing it, the artist, the guys creating the concepts for those monsters were just like, those things were so cool looking. They had this particular looking style that nobody else was doing, and that's a big thing, you know.
I will say that the giant king cobra snake it's the new snake creature thing from Kong versus Godzilla sounds a lot like it. I'm kind of hoping that it is it.
Yeah, I didn't even know that they were doing that.
Yeah, they got it's shown in toys, and it kind of looks like it.
I've heard a lot of, like, for Godzilla, I've heard a lot of things that kind of like turning me off from the film. Like, I don't want to say it's just some of the toys and things they've shown and speculation. How, like, I really don't want Godzilla getting destroyed by Kong. No, not for me. It will be another T-Rex versus Spinosaurus for me, and I don't think I can survive that one, guys. I don't think I can survive another one.
The PSD's coming back.
Yes. But yeah, man, you know, like, I see what you mean by, like, the kind of generic looking characters. I honestly, like, I just want a good story. Like, I want an honest, and it's a trope that we have in the entire Jurassic series time and time again. They're stuck on an island. There's dinosaurs around. What are they gonna do? And if you do it right, it works. But if you just keep on doing the same thing, and you had the same type of characters just because you give them different names or different ethnicities or whatever, and it's the same type of. It's not going to work. It's going to be the same thing all over again. But if they really do a good plot and a good story, they'll get me really interested in the show. And I don't mind that it's not geared to adults, because I want my nephew to get into Jurassic, and like he can't watch the movies right now. Like it's just not going to work for him. But like he loves the Lego stuff, but I can't get him Legos yet because he'll like Legos are too small for him, whatnot. But if they get this like Jurassic series, like I could see myself getting like that Stegosaurus set or whatever, a little Bumpy, if he likes Bumpy. But
I'm planning on liking Bumpy. I think he's cute. I said I'm planning on liking Bumpy. I think he's gonna be cute.
Yeah, me too. I think he's gonna be awesome. But I hope it's not like overhyped and then he's like in one scene. That's it. They're like, oh look, it's a baby ankylosaur. He's kind of bumpy. Boom. That's it. That's all we see of him in the entire series.
They're trying to market him as the Jurassic Park Baby Yoda.
I was going to say, no Baby Yoda.
Which I love Baby Yoda, man. The child.
I have pictures all the time.
Yeah, my godsons, my cousin, she got them all Baby Yodas. She got one herself. I see them in pictures like on when they post on their social medias that they're all carrying Baby Yodas like everywhere they go.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I must say, this would have to be one of the greatest tangents. We've hit Godzilla and Star Wars.
This is what I do. I feel like your regular listeners are like, oh man, Jaye Jurassick is back.
Skip.
All right, where are we going? We're going to. We got a 5-hour ride. All right, let's put on the Jaye Jurassick episode of Jurassic Minutes.
Yes, rename it Jurassic Hours.
Basically.
Well, to finish out this minute anyway, we do get this bit of line or dialogue here from Owen. You come here and you don't learn anything about these animals except what you want to know. You made them and now you think you own them, which is a very familiar sounding quote from The Lost World. But, well, you did make them, so you do own them, really.
Yeah.
As an extinct animal brought back to life has no rights. We can do it because we own it. We patented it. It's kind of out of sequence there, but yeah. I mean, that's the view, and it's interesting because this was the end game was kind of the third movie here where we're getting the dinosaurs to be open source, and so now the question is, because these dinosaurs have always been treated like technology, the question kind of becomes is do they get animal rights? Does that even apply to them, or are they just numbers on a patent sheet?
Well, that goes all the way back to the novels as well. The fact that it's not the cloning process that's the patent here. It's the technology required. In the Lost World novel, they specifically say that InGen sold off all of their assets, but kept the technology needed to create the dinosaurs under lock and key, so it'd never be done again.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that at a certain point, once the animals start breeding on their own, I guess for Rexy, since she's still the same Rex that they cloned for the original park. Like, I feel like in legality, I guess they would have rights over her because they did honestly create her. But like some of these other dinosaurs that have been bred out in nature by themselves, I don't think they have any rights over them. Their right ended when this animal was born free, I guess, was made by themselves, But that's my personal opinion on that.
Well, that's what makes Sauna a little bit better.
I know, that's what makes it sad. read that DPG that that's where they got all the dinosaurs from, which
well-
makes no sense. That makes no sense whatsoever. The stegosaurs look really drastically different. So do the triceratops. Like a lot of these dinosaur designs and we've had this conversation before.
Yeah.
You know, like the Allosaurus.
Yeah.
You know, like the dinosaur designs in these new movies look drastically different. So you can't really use that DPG comparison that they. I know that that's what they're trying to fill in the gaps, pun intended, to tell us like what happened on Sorna. But it's just it's stupid to really say that like Sorna's completely absent, like there's nothing there, and we just keep ignoring that island. Like
something has to have survived.
Yeah.
It has to.
To paraphrase.
Yeah.
Another one. Yeah.
You're going on about Universal before, and it's like they want to give fans backstory or fill in some gaps and questions they got, but they just make whole new ones with all the marketing material and the DPG stuff and that. That's probably my biggest issue with the new trilogy is the behind the scenes and stuff. If you want us to know about it, put it on the film. Don't sit here and say that brachiosaur that got consumed by lava was the same one that Grant and Ellie looked up at the start of Jurassic Park, Colin. Just don't do that sort of stuff.
And the thing is, like, that didn't even look like a brachiosaur when you see it like walk across. When Zia like walks out, she's like, "Oh, I want to see it. I've never seen one before in real life." Cheetos, stop. Cheetos wants to say hi.
Took long enough.
Well, he was sleeping.
Oh.
He woken up. That brachiosaurus with the blue like thing on its like crest, like the coloration, it doesn't look like the brachiosaurus we're used to. Like, plus it was like fat. It didn't have like the anatomy.
It wasn't. There was actually, I think it was the special features. I can't remember if it was on the DVD or if it was released by one of the people who did it on Instagram. But there's actually two different models in the movie. There's the one with the stripes on the neck, which is kind of smaller, got a more sloping build. And then there's the one from that we're used to that gets consumed by the pyroclastic cloud that was from the first movie. And you look at the two, and it's very clearly two different models, you know?
Okay, good. Because I was like, if they're trying to say that one was the same one, I'm like, whoa, you are mistaken, sir. Yeah. Like, but I get that. I hate that they just keep throwing that. Like, they did the same thing with the Spinosaurus.
Yes, that was what I was going to mention.
On Twitter, they just randomly when they were like, oh, guess what, guys? That skeleton, that's a Spinosaurus JP3.
We scun it. We got the meat off it.
You lie. That is not the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. It doesn't even look like the Spinosaurus from
No, it's got one. It's got one single crest. You know, its hand seems smaller, and like it's almost like that skeleton that they have there displayed. It's like they were trying to make it look like at that time what the Spinosaurus was. Yeah. Kind of looking like.
I mean, you could see they were clearly trying to make it an accurate 2014 Spinosaurus. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's smaller. Smaller than the Rex too. And I get the punchline